They say the Appalachian Mountains are full of beauty, peace, and old legends. But there's one thing you should never do while you're there: whistle. Sounds harmless, right? Just a simple tune in the wind. But locals will warn you, and hikers who've ignored that warning often regret it. Some say whistling calls to things you don't want following you. So why is this innocent habit taken so seriously in the mountains? Let's find out what happens when you whistle in the Appalachians. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get regular updates. Let's dive in. A mountain range full of secrets. Stretching from Georgia up to Maine, the Appalachian Mountains are some of the oldest mountains on Earth, around 480 million years old. Over time, people from many different cultures made these mountains their home. Native American tribes like the Cherokee and Iroquois had lived there long before European settlers arrived. These tribes believed the forests were filled with spirits, some helpful, some harmful. When European settlers came in the 1700s, they brought their own beliefs, many from old Celtic traditions. These stories included fairies, forest spirits, and rules about what to do or not do when traveling through wild lands. When these two belief systems met, they mixed and created something unique. Later, African Americans, both enslaved and free, added their spiritual knowledge to the mix. All this came together to form a culture where the supernatural was just part of daily life. In the Appalachian Mountains, people learned to respect the unknown. They didn't whistle in the woods. They didn't talk about strange sounds. They followed the rules, because those who didn't often didn't come back. What happens when you whistle? Locals say whistling in these mountains is like shouting into the dark, and something might shout back. It's believed that whistling, especially at night, acts as a beacon, calling out to whatever else is in the woods. And the problem is, you never know who's listening. Some folks describe hearing a whistle far off in the trees. It sounds friendly at first, like another hiker or hunter, but there's always something a little strange about it. Maybe it's too perfect, or it carries a tone that feels empty, unnatural. Many have made the mistake of whistling back, thinking they're returning a greeting. But locals will tell you, once you do that, it's already too late. It's not just that you're calling something to you, it's that your whistle could be a reply to something that was already calling you in the first place. That's the truly terrifying part. You might think you're alone, but you're not. And if you whistle, whatever is out there knows exactly where you are. The Appalachian Whistler. Over the years, many people have reported hearing the same eerie sound deep in the woods. It's always the same story, a soft, musical whistle that follows them through the trees. Some call it the Appalachian Whistler. It's not exactly a ghost or a creature, it's more of a strange presence, something that mimics human sound but doesn't feel human. Hikers say it will follow them for hours, sometimes whistling back the exact tune they just made, but with something just slightly off. Others say it repeats sounds from earlier in the day, like a song they were humming or a tune they heard on the radio. What makes it even scarier is that it often moves when you move. If you walk faster, it speeds up. If you stop, it stops. You might hear it on one side of the trail, then suddenly behind you, then up ahead. It's like it knows where you're going before you do. One woman told a story about walking through the woods while whistling a melody her grandmother used to sing. Moments later, the same tune came back to her, but from 3 different directions at once. That was when she ran. The rules of survival. In Appalachian culture, there are a few unspoken rules when it comes to the forest. These rules are passed down from generation to generation. They're not just advice, they're survival tips. The first and most important rule: never whistle at night. This is repeated everywhere, from deep in the mountains to the porches of old farmhouses. Even those who don't believe in ghosts tend to follow it. No one wants to test what might be out there after dark. The second rule: if you hear whistling, don't whistle back. It might sound like a friend. It might sound like a bird. But once you respond, you've invited whatever it is closer to you. The third rule: if you hear something strange, pretend you didn't. Locals say that acknowledging weird sounds in the forest gives them power. If you hear a whistle, a whisper, or a strange rustle in the bushes, just keep walking. Don't ask questions. Don't look back. The fourth rule: never stare too hard into the woods. Shadows can play tricks on you. But sometimes, it's not your eyes playing games. Sometimes, there is something in those trees, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Not all of the fear around whistling in the Appalachians is based on the supernatural. There are real-world reasons why people in the past avoided making noise in the woods. During hard times like the Great Depression or World War II, people often hunted animals out of season just to survive. Others ran illegal moonshine stills hidden deep in the forest. Whistling could give away your position. The sound carries far in the quiet mountain air. It might bring a game warden or federal officer straight to your location. If you were caught, your family could lose its only source of food or income. So, whistling became something to avoid, not just because of spirits, but because of survival. Some real encounters. With platforms like TikTok and YouTube, more and more people are sharing stories of strange experiences in the Appalachian woods, and whistling seems to come up again and again. One story that gained a lot of attention came from a woman named Jane, who grew up in rural Kentucky. Her grandmother had only 2 rules: always come home before dark and never whistle at night. Jane followed those rules her whole life, until one evening, she forgot. It was just after sunset, and she whistled a cheerful tune as she walked up the path to the house. Later that night, as she and her grandmother sat on the porch, they heard something whistling Jane's exact tune back at them from the woods. Her grandmother turned pale and demanded to know if Jane had whistled. When she said yes, her grandmother whispered, "You called them, and now they're here." All night, the whistling came closer. They heard it circle the house, and at times, it sounded like footsteps moving just beyond the porch light. They didn't sleep that night. They just waited for morning, and whatever was outside never came in. Creatures that answer the call. Many Appalachian legends mention creatures that could be drawn by whistling. Some people link the whistler to well-known cryptids like the Mothman or the less famous but terrifying Wampus Cat, a shape-shifting creature said to stalk people through the mountains. Other theories say that whistling attracts something much older, ancient spirits that predate human life in these forests. Some people believe these entities exist in a place between worlds, and whistling is how they hear us. It's like a signal that crosses the boundary between our world and theirs. People who have encountered them often talk about glowing eyes in the dark, shadows that move against the wind, or the feeling of being watched, even when no one's there. Some say the things they saw didn't walk, they glided, or they bent in ways no human or animal should bend. It's not just creepy, it's completely wrong, as if reality itself is breaking. If you ever find yourself hiking or camping in the Appalachian Mountains, you might be tempted to whistle out of boredom or joy. But just know, many people before you have done the same, and some didn't make it out the same. Whether you believe in spirits, legends, or just good old-fashioned caution, the advice is clear. Don't do it. You're not alone in those woods. And when you whistle, you might be letting something know exactly where to find you. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.